Sinister killings have been occurring each night for more than a 10-day in the city of Lamentable Mole. Diabolically infused fear afflicts its citizens, as it seems no one is safe from a potentially gruesome demise. Hello and welcome to Liam's Lyceum. I am your host, Liam, aka Himfar. Today I'll be doing a spoiler-free review of Steven Erikson's Blood Follows. Blood Follows is the first Bauchelain and Korbal Broach novella by Steven Erikson. It was released a few months after the release of Memories of Ice, which is book 3 of the Malazan Book of the Fallen. This does take place in the same world as Malazan Book of the Fallen in other Malazan series, and this is specifically on the continent of Theft, and as I previously mentioned, in the city of Lamentable Mole. I have heard some recommend you do read Memories of Ice first, since the characters first appeared there. I've also heard the stories are standalone and you don't need to read any other Malazan books before this. So, instead of going with the normal route of Gardens of the Moon or Dancer's Lament, this was actually my first Malazan experience. And I will say it was a pretty good one, though actually as of recording this, I've already finished Gardens of the Moon as well. Blood Follows is an absurd sword and sorcery tale in the spirit of Leiber, but in the world of Malazan rather than Nawan. Here we have decrepit streets of the Lamentable Mole instead of Lankhmar. Though for most of the story we don't actually follow the titular characters of Bauchelain and Korbal Broach. Emancipor Reese, often called Mancy, is the first character we meet, and he's the one we follow. He finds himself out of a job and the target of a nagging wife and the victim of tolling bells. He gets drunk to avoid his wife and bratty children while looking for another job before finding a posting for a manservant position. As I mentioned earlier, there have been some grisly murders in the city. Murders linked to a being that is likely a man and mayhaps a necromancer, though particularly the victims seem to be harvested for their organs. The truth about Reese is he's hapless, as this is his third employer to kick the bucket. Before that, he was a sailor, and, well, maybe you can guess what came of the ship and its crew. The most recent employer was actually the victim of the recent murders. Reese is seemingly a typical blue-collar man, and when he finds work for the titular Bauchelain and Korbal Broach, he acts as the everyman for the absurd going-ons of the duo, who turn out to be necromancers themselves and seem to fit quite well in the high fantasy, high magic setting of Malazan, but this story comes off more as, honestly, a contemporary and satirical work. There's also a pervasive feeling that something is off with just about everyone he spends time with, for different reasons, and I'll let you figure that part out, as everyone either seems odd or off their rockers. We do have another point of view character, that Sergeant Gold, who is trying to solve the case of the murders. The mystery is fun, but not terribly capturing, but it is an interesting character, as he does kind of help you understand what is going on. Overall, it's a very fascinating and very easy to read, tiny tale. It's lighthearted, and though it's definitely trying to be different things, it still does have a decent sword and sorcery vibe as well, which is why I read it for Sword and Sorcery in November. My version, which was published by Nightshade Books, there are a few illustrations present by Mike Dringenberg. It seems the most popular format, though, is the omnibus of Bauchelain and Korbal Broach Volume 1 that contains the first 3 novellas. Anyways, that's my review. I will be getting to my review of Gardens of the Moon here shortly, and that will definitely be longer than this short one. But this has been Liam's Lyceum. Let me know what you think. Let me know if you've read this. Let me know if you want to read this, and if you have read the other Malazan stuff. I'll catch you next time.